What's happening, everyone? My name is Phil with PrecisionLED.com, and today we have a 2014 Mazda 3 we'll be installing LED interior lights on. Now, this is a third generation Mazda 3, and that's compatible with year models 2013 and up in terms of production years. Now, today we're going to be using a PrecisionLED Premium 5730 style LED kit. That kit comes with 3 interior trim tools you'll see us using during the installation: a fork-shaped crowbar tool, serrated knife tool, and a pointed wedge tool. Today we're going to be doing installation on our front map lights, the rear dome light, license plate light, backup reverse light, as well as the trunk light. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to show you now how to remove the lens covers on the overhead console for these front map lights. We're going to be using from these tools our flat end of our serrated knife tool. You're going to insert here to the side closer to the windshield, and then just pry up slowly. As you can see, there are 2 clips here holding it in place, and that's what you're popping out. Now we have these festoon bulbs here we're going to be removing. You can just use your thumb here and pull out to remove the bulb. And we're going to replace it with the new LED. Now, in order to show you this a little bit clearer, I'm going to use a pair of pliers. You don't actually need these for your installation, but just so you can see for the purpose of the video, you're going to insert it on the side that bends, and bend it back far enough to insert the new LED. Once that's in place, you want to make sure that the LED board is facing down, and that way the light is pointed out of the housing and not the other way around. If you put it the other way around, the light will not reflect back very well, and so you get less light output. The process is the same for the passenger side. Now, once that LED is in, you're going to put the lens cover back on. That lens cover, the prongs on the lens cover go to the back side here first, and they're going to use pressure to snap these parts back in, one side at a time. For this rear overhead dome light, we're going to use the fork-shaped ends of the crowbar tool, and we're actually going to be removing from this portion here. There's a recessed portion where this will fit in, and then you press in between, and you just start slowly prying it out. Once you have one side, switch the tool to the other side and pry this other side out. Now that you have access, this is a slightly different type of fixture. It just holds pressure on both sides. You can actually just pull this out, and so that you can see, I'm going to use the pair of pliers. But this one just comes right out. Just like that. The new LED we'll just push in to the same position, make sure the LED board is facing down, and to test, you'll want to turn on and then you can go ahead and turn it off once you know it's back on. The lens cover now, if you take a look, one side has 3 small prongs that act as guiding pins. Those go towards the back. And when you have it in, you just use some light pressure to force it back into place. We're going to show you now how to access the license plate lights. And to do that, you need to open the trunk and actually remove the top side of this liner here. Now, this liner has a series of small push pins that are holding it in place. And to remove them, you're going to use a serrated knife tool. The flat edge you can use to wedge inside and pop the inner pin out. And once that inner pin is out, you can use this portion of the serrated knife tool, this recessed area, to lift the rest of it out. Just like that. There are 8 that we need to remove, and we'll do that now. All right, now that we have all the bolts or the push tabs removed, we are going to remove this section here first, get it over the trunk hitch. Now the majority of this will remove except for this portion right here. This portion you actually have to pry out. It takes a little bit of effort. Actually, we have one more here in the center. Alright, now this whole thing comes down. So, what you can access here underneath in this portion are the license plate lights. And actually right here, these silver pods, these are your backup reverse lights. Let's go ahead and change the camera angle so I can show you what it looks like under here. We're looking now at the trunk lid, but the inner portion here, and this is the passenger side license plate holder. Now to access the bulb, we're going to twist this assembly out in this direction towards you, counterclockwise to release. Now you have access to the bulb. Now this one's a bit difficult to take out with your hands. If you can't get it out with your hands, you can use a small piece of tape, and you take this piece of tape, you put it on both sides, like this, and then once you have the tape on the bulb, you can pull it out, like that. Now that it's out, you're just simply replacing it with the new LED. This is not polarity specific, so you can put it in this way or you can put it in this way and it will still work. Once you have it in, we're just going to reinsert and twist clockwise to put it back in place. The installation process is the same for the driver's side, and you want to make sure you test those lights before you go ahead and put this whole trunk assembly back on. We're looking now at the passenger side backup reverse light on the trunk lid. In order to access this bulb, we first need to remove this connector. There is a piece of plastic here on the other side preventing you from twisting the bulb out so that it always stays in place. To do that, you can use your fingers to push down on the connector here and remove it. If it's a little bit difficult, you can use a pair of pliers to get the pressure you need to remove the connector. Once that is out, as you can see, we have the pin here. We can now twist this counterclockwise towards the trunk lid to remove that bulb. This one should come out pretty easily. And replacing it with a premium 5730 style LED. Installation is the same, or the reverse actually. And once you have that locked into place, you can go ahead and clip it back in place. Now, like we said before with the license plate light, you want to make sure these backup reverse lights are working properly before you go ahead and put the trunk liner back on. So we're going to go ahead and do that on our own before we move on to the next step. We're now looking at the trunk light assembly here, and in order to remove this lens cover, we are going to squeeze with the pointer finger and the thumb on the front and the back to remove the assembly. And that reveals a small T5 style wedge LED. Now I'm wearing gloves because it's a little hot, and so we're just going to pull it out and replace it with a new LED board. Now to make sure it works, we're going to actually flip this one around because this one is polarity specific. There we go. And now with it on, we're going to put the lens cover back in place. You can start with the back side first. Just pop it in place like that. There's also a trunk strip product that will give you significant brightness, and that trunk strip would come along and stick to this top side here. We have those products on the website, and it has a connector that connects power from this assembly, so you can check that out online as well. And that's the end of the installation. If you have any questions or concerns, please email us at help@precisionled.com, or you can reach us online and submit a support ticket at www.precisionled.com/contact. Now, like we said before, please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the process for what we do. It really does help us out when we make the next one, knowing that there's people out there watching the videos. Have a good one.